Alright, let's talk about pruning. First thing I'm going to do is get my Lysol, got my snips as per usual. This is what I use to clean, and we're going to make sure we're just getting these sprayed in between every sort of cutting. Especially when you're swapping between plants. Let's get started. So let's start with Salvia. Salvia is super great for hot climates. And what happens is that these will form like a stem. It'll be flowers and then a stem, and then on the stem we'll have the flowers, and they'll kind of pop. You'll notice that it'll be a bunch of flowers at first, and then eventually they'll essentially bloom, and then they'll die back a little bit after they get all the pollination done. So what you're looking for, these ones are spent, and this is all cut down all the way down to the green. Just like this, you want to cut down to the foliage. Some people go around and they'll cut half the plant and things like that. I don't do that. I'm out here enough that I just want to come out here and cut it one by one, just right here at the flower. And I'll do that for each one of these. I personally don't mind taking the time to do this. Some people don't. I mean, if you don't have the time to do it, you can just do it in halves. And what kind of happens a lot of times, one side will grow, then another side will grow, and another side will grow. So it could make sense to come out and do these in thirds or parts. Cut out a chunk. Maybe that makes like a denser plant. I don't know. The way that I've been doing this for years is just coming out here and doing one by one. Spending time in my garden. I love spending time in my garden. So it's not a headache to me to come out here and do this. Especially if you're doing this in like fall and spring. Like, look at that. Some people don't have a lot of time, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of based on how you want to do things. And a lot of times I'm going to die down from the bottom to the top. The tip is where it's going to have a lot of the flowering, as you can see here. So that one's about to be spent, and I just put it right back in the garden. Free fertilizer, right? I've heard of people cutting these down to basically down to the bottom, and they grow back. Salvia is super forgiving. Once it's rooted, it's there. If you think it's dead, you got to go in and check at the very bottom to see if there's any life. Lavender is a little bit different because it doesn't grow off of the dead woody growth. So if you want to shape it, yes, you can cut off that woody growth at the bottom to, if you want to shape. But realistically, it's going to be kind of brown at the bottom. You want to come in and cut the new growth. Will continue to grow. But if you go in and cut anything that's brown, don't expect anything to grow from that. Personally, I come around and I'll take off tips and anything that doesn't look like it's coming in, and it's grown so much. This was like one of those little small containers from Star Nursery. I don't know if that's 3 gallons or what the size of those are. It's not like a gallon. And now this is taking over this raised garden bed. As per usual, the name of the game is well draining soil. It's not water. Everything gets watered the same here for the most part. And my lavender and my salvia both love it. We're talking in the summer, things are going off multiple times a day. A lot of the times people think the issue is water, but it's not water. It's the soil and how the roots are in that soil. So I'm going to grow watermelon over here on the vine. If you didn't know, watermelon can do well if you get one of the smaller ones. We're going to do sugar daddy ones on this side. If you're in small spaces, all you got to do, you can start growing things vertically. And watermelon does really well. Watermelon really does love well-draining soil. You want to give it a lot of space, put it in a corner someplace where the vines can go wherever they want. In this case, having a vine that's going up, 8-9 feet in the air, that's going to allow the vines to climb and to hang the watermelon on the actual trellis. Some things don't like being grown in the same pot. Watermelon, I've noticed, doesn't care. I think I've used this pot 5 years in a row, and I'll only plant a couple seeds in this and it'll grow. You can actually buy watermelon from the store and use those seeds directly. I've personally found that watermelon isn't really all that picky. Give it a bunch of nitrogen in the beginning to get some of that growth, and then once we get a bunch of leaves, we'll swap that over to something that's higher in phosphorus, and then potassium is going to be that last bit once we're getting fruit. If you didn't see my earlier videos, this is how I keep my seeds. It's really that easy. Sugar baby and golden ones do stay fairly small. I do generally soak my seeds in water and hydrogen peroxide, and then sometimes I'll find that helps. It adds a little bit of oxygen to the plants and it kind of gets things going. It's that easy, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't really take a whole lot of seeds to do watermelon. I'll just do one or two, and then I'll cut out the one that looks like it's not doing the best and just literally drop it into a hole. Super simple video today. Leave me a comment below if you have any other questions, concerns. Subscribe if you like the video if you like. It really helps me know what type of videos people prefer seeing. We're in zone 9. It's about to get hot out here. Get these planted as soon as you can. We have a long season for watermelon. One of these mornings though, let's grow.